Do you believe that with age comes wisdom? This is something that is very controversial, and I think it needs to be talked about. I'm 65 now, and I think I'm pretty wise, but I know there's areas in my life that I am not so wise about. And I think this pertains to a lot of people. I think that many of us and many younger people believe that just because we're old, we're wise. Is that true? I want to examine that. I want to have a look at that. So we are going to start off with contributing factors to wisdom, and then I'm going to talk about some real life stories. I'm going to share with you some real life stories of other people, and then I want you to come up with your own ideas. So stick around to the end. I think there's 5 real life stories we're going to talk about how wisdom actually can work and not work in our favor, or how we next best face wisdom in our years. Okay? So let's go. The first contributing factor to wisdom, and I am reading, you'll see me look down, is life experiences. So how do your life experiences shape your wisdom? How do you contribute to wisdom due to your life experiences? Does it make you wise? Does it make you maybe more biased? Does it make you more angry? What does life experiences bring? Does it only bring wisdom, or does it bring wisdom at all? So the next thing is emotional intelligence. How emotional intelligent are you? Emotional intelligence is very, very important and really speaks volumes about where we are with what we know. So it's more about how to apply what you know. So you might be knowledgeable, but do you know how to apply it? Then the third thing is reflection and self-awareness. How reflective are you on yourself? Do you do that on a continual basis? Are you aware of how you feel, how you think, what your biases are? All those things are how aware of you are. And I think it really makes a difference in how much wisdom you have and what types of wisdom you have. I do believe there are many types of wisdom. Number 4, openness and growth. So how open are you to growth? So how open are you to gaining wisdom? How open are you to changing your mind? You know, have you believed something? What are your core beliefs? Have you believed that since you were very young and you're not willing to change it? Those things can really affect your wisdom and can really affect the wisdom you have for your years. You might be 40 and have a lot more wisdom in a certain area than someone 80, and vice versa. So you could be 20 and be very wise in certain areas of your life, depending maybe on how you were brought up. So openness to growth, right? We have to be very willing and open to change. Then the 5th thing we're going to talk about is social and cultural influences. So in today's era, it is so important to be aware of what influences are around you. I know for me, there are many social and cultural differences that I did not have any exposure to when I was young. I was raised in a little town, a mining town, way up north in Canada, and I did not know other cultures. And the way I lived was the way I thought it was supposed to be. So it took many years for me to look at that and try to decipher what I believed and what I didn't believe, and allow those social and cultural influences to change me. And I think it's been a good lesson. So now we're going to go into the real life stories that I talked about. And story 1, financial wisdom. In their 20s, a friend rushed into buying a flashy car on credit without considering the financial burden. Decades later, they learned to prioritize financial stability, choosing practical investments over fleeting pleasures. It wasn't just age that brought this wisdom, it was learning from past mistakes. On the other hand, another person in their 50s, despite years of experience, continued to overspend and neglect savings, showing that financial wisdom is not guaranteed with age. What do you think? Story 2, emotional regulation. A grandmother shared how she used to argue with her husband over minor issues in her youth. Now she focuses on what truly matters, fostering a more peaceful and loving relationship. Her wisdom came from years of reflection and personal growth. Meanwhile, a man in his 60s still struggled to manage his temper, letting small irritations escalate, demonstrating that emotional regulation requires active effort, not just age. Something to think about, right? Story 3, repairing a relationship. A woman in her 60s shared how she reconnected with a friend she'd lost touch with after a fallout in her 30s. Through time and reflection, she realized the value of forgiveness and reached out. They rebuilt their friendship, stronger than ever, demonstrating how age and introspection can bring clarity to emotional priorities. Conversely, another individual allowed a decades-old feud with a sibling to fester, refusing to seek resolution even as they both aged, highlighting how wisdom in relationships is a choice. Do you have someone you're holding a grudge against? I have to think about that. Story 4, navigating new love. After divorce in her 40s, another individual chose to remain single for many years, focusing on self-discovery. In her 60s, she met someone special and entered the relationship with healthier boundaries and deeper emotional understanding, proving how wisdom gained through experience can lead to more fulfilling relationships. In contrast, a friend who had also been through a divorce entered a series of relationships without addressing past patterns, showing how self-awareness is critical for growth. Yep, I still have difficulties with relationships. I know for me it's due to insecurity, it's due to feeling abandoned and feeling that love was never given back to me. And I still have difficulties dealing with relationships. I can't let go. I have an attachment issue, and I have to be acutely aware of that whenever I enter a relationship. So number 5, the last one, is pursuing passion over profit. A man left his high-paying corporate job in his 50s to start a nonprofit that aligned with his values. He said he wouldn't have had the perspective or courage to do this in his 20s, highlighting how wisdom evolves with time and experience. Yet another individual clung to a job they hated well into their 60s out of fear and financial insecurity, showing that courage and value-based decisions don't always align with age. Is that you? Is that someone you know? Could be, right? So I think it's really important that we look at the big picture here, right? So I think the big takeaway is there's all kinds of wisdom. There's all kinds of things that stop wisdom. Where are you and where are the people you know? I think wisdom does come with age in some respects, not all respects. I have learned a lot, but I still have a lot to learn. Anyway, be brave, be strong, and love endlessly. We'll talk to you again really soon.